Hear this. Leave a firework to eject. Prepare to cripple them. Bang! That kick directly hit Xu Zhengshu's face. All the teeth in the mouth were knocked out. Only then did I focus on my grandfather's condition. Magic runaway is vicious. Early if you are an ordinary person. He's dead. Think outside and take my big hand, but I can't let my grandfather die like this. Xu Zhengshu stared blankly at the thing in my hand. He has recognized it. I smiled evilly. It seems that you still have some eyesight. And this object here is holy water. Pfft. I just opened the holy water bottle. The holy water was slowly poured into Grandpa's body. This bottle of holy water has been enjoyed in a pinch. Although I am old friends and have some friendship with fireworks, but the most important thing is to save Liu Tianying. I can replicate the skills of this boss. I wouldn't want to miss this opportunity. Ding dong. The system prompts that the holy water has been absorbed. I saw the virus on my grandfather's body. It's starting to fade away. After the engraving, the holy water suppressed the poison, fading to the arm. A white light flashed by. The toxins in Grandpa's body have disappeared. Just a moment. Grandpa used to take a breath. He was in better shape before. See this scene. The oil fireworks can't hold on to the face anymore. A lot of tears flowed down. The system sent a prompt again. You have met the copying conditions. You have successfully copied the detective blue and white Langshan method. Xu Zhengshu, with a swollen face, saw this scene. Astonished. Unexpectedly, I really cured his grandfather's injury. Then I didn't think much about taking people with me to get ready to leave here. If you don't run, it's really over. Wait a minute. I kicked him right in the butt. I said to the two little trash behind me. If you enjoy being implicated, get out of here. Here we go. It's my private chat time with Xu Zhengshu. After 2.5 minutes, Xu Zhengshu was slammed by me, pushed directly into the grocery room. He asked me with a swollen face what I wanted to do. Are you really going to kill me? I told him not to think so badly of me. I wouldn't, because if you cheat this money, it will kill you. Because that's not my style at all. As long as you take the money extorted during this time, give it all back. I'll let you go, Xu Zhengshu, for one day. I won't kill him. Just let it go. I laughed. This proposal should be considered good. I will also have a good talk with Yanhua. You don't have to worry too much. He'll get you in trouble. But Xu Zhengshu couldn't be sure in his heart. Because you let me go so easily. Too strange. See, he's still in Rory. I pinched my bones and pointed to the moment my eyes opened. Said, do you want money but not your life? The oil fireworks in the room are taking care of Grandpa. Didn't notice the phone information on the sofa at all. And that message, it's Xu Zhengshu's surgery cost. But it has now been transferred to them. On the other side, Xu Zhengshu was secretly happy. I'm really lucky I didn't die this time. Now I have to go back and report. And what he didn't know was, I stood on top of a tall building and watched him leave. Ennis laughs. You guy is so bad. So you let him go on purpose. I looked serious. And of course, because of low-level people like him, you can't blow up useful information. Why don't you follow him? Find someone with more power. And then, step by step, pull out bigger pieces of information. Then Alice flew off my shoulder. He likes to do things like stalking people. Because there are melons to eat. I turned around and smiled. Alice, this guy's character hasn't changed a bit. When he heard a melon, he rushed over like a fly. Then I weaved the fireworks out. I told the old man to stop pretending. You must have woken up. At this time, the old man is slowly opening his eyes. He thought his secrecy was perfect. I didn't expect to be found by me. I laughed. You hid it perfectly. Too bad it shouldn't be hidden from me. In fact, I understand his behavior very well. After all, others can't take him. But I was cured. If it were me, I would be wary of it too. The old man laughed. I really convinced you. Since you can see so much into people's hearts. What you said is exactly what I thought. I can't even blame you. And then I said, your granddaughter and I are old friends. I have no reason not to help him. Other than that, I have something else to ask for. I asked the old man when the outbreak appeared. What the hell is going on? The old man stroked the wound on his chest. When it broke out, he is on his way to attend an academic conference. When you see something unknown, suddenly appeared in the sky, He was also surprised. His first thought was to get out of here quickly. That's seeing a monster trying to attack the people. He could not remain indifferent. So I got out of the car immediately and took care of the monster. At that time, the old man saw around the monster. There is a human. He clearly felt that the human, extremely powerful, make him lose his fighting spirit. Just as he was about to fight, the man jumped in the air. A knife slashed directly into my arm. In just a moment, he fell to the ground. Old man. I didn't even see how he did it. The old man's memory stayed at that moment. I don't remember anything behind it. Until now, the old man still has lingering fears. He lived to this age. This is the first time I have seen someone's swordsmanship like this. Come on, I'm listening to the old man. If his words are true, then it means the martial arts forces that rule the 21st floor has gone in directions we didn't expect. Those guys in action are very difficult to deal with. And by means, when I was playing Tower of Broken Love, also because those guys have a headache. But it makes me wonder, they appear in the real world. What is the conspiracy? Suddenly the old man patted his chest and asked me what I wanted. As long as he can do it. You can give it to me. Let me ask, can you really give me everything? Don't worry, the old man smiles. Although I was out of the ward after 2.5 minutes. Speaking of fireworks, Grandpa is all right now. This makes the fireworks laugh awkwardly. He really doesn't know what to give me in return. I gently told him he didn't need to repay me. Your grandfather has already expressed his gratitude. The old man sitting on the hospital bed shed tears. I never thought I would learn this well from him. Then I went to a 10-star hotel, opened a room, looking down at the beautiful night view. It's great to be rich. I want to be rich, and there was an introduction on TV. They guessed that although the player passed the 3rd level, the 4th level can be opened, but it won't be turned on now. Hear this news. Alice smirk. What did he hear? He said I wouldn't open the 4th floor. You underestimate me. I went to the bathroom and took a shower. I'm going to let them panic next. In an underground parking lot, the guy on TV is ready for a month of fun. He guessed that I would definitely. The 4th floor was opened a month later. Just as he was driving to take his partner out to play, a pop-up window suddenly appeared in front of him. The pop-up window announces that the player is ready to capture the 4th floor. Please be prepared. Man looks at pop-up window in disbelief. Stab. The steering wheel of the car turns abruptly. Here comes a big drift. He drove to the staging area. And contact all. Top experts all gather. His contact. Panic all the players. Ask what's going on. Is the plan ready? Going crazy. All the top masters will gather immediately. The man gritted his teeth in hatred. In this unsuspecting state. They've got 8 hours to get ready. I don't know what I was thinking. The other side? I slept for a full 8 hours. Slept until dawn. I called out to Alice, who was still asleep, to stop sleeping. Get up quickly. Let's get down to business. Distance from this fluctuation, 1 hour and 30 minutes left. The 4th floor of the Tower of Trials. There will be 100 times by ordinary morning. The fluctuations composed of zombies and special zombies. Player. There are only 2 ways to withstand these fluctuations. One is to severely deploy 1,000 combinations of defense towers. The other is to choose positions that can be effectively defended. I step out. Finally reach the 4th floor of the trial tower. Well, other players will be here in 20 minutes. I touched the wall here. Set it as the first designated location, right? And sprinkled soft single grains here. First grade 5 capsules. There's even natural water in the sun. Let's remodel this place. 20 minutes later, most of the home players have come here to gather. This time, Liu Yanhua and the other 2 also came here. And behind them, it was Teresa greeting me. But it kept the 2 busy. Why did Teresa come here? I told them not to be surprised. This time I called Teresa over. He has quit the organization, so it doesn't matter if you come here, Teresa said with a red face. He also enjoyed spending time with me. Our luxury lineup, amazing the people behind. This team is definitely the strongest. And the scariest, I smiled slightly. Ask them if they're ready. The next step is to fight well. but the two don't seem ready yet. Because there are so many zombies here, speaking of vomiting blood, and Huang Yinan's summoning ability level doesn't seem to be high. Might be a little difficult. I ignored their difficulties. It's just that it's difficult to have blood. Besides, I also deliberately chose the arena as a stronghold. This directly broke the two of them. To defend such a large stronghold, you have to have at least 100 people. Otherwise, it won't work at all. Even Trey, Shaw also thinks my approach is particularly perverted. As far as he knows, to start a stronghold defense battle, at least 5 members are required. He turned his head and nodded. Now they only have 4 members. That doesn't seem like enough. I told him not to worry too much about this, because the last person in the group, coming soon, lifetime, a man came to us from the sky. The man shouted my name, but it seems that the tone is a little bad. And the next moment, not only was his tone off, he even pulled out a knife, staring fiercely in my direction. He was training at home. My message interrupted him suddenly. I let him within an hour. Rushed to the starting point of the 4th floor. It annoyed him a bit. Why should I let him go and he will go? I had long guessed that he was in this mood. So promise him, if he comes now, when we fight, you can give him an arm and a leg. He ignored it. It's self-training. This little trick looks provocative. So childish and superficial. He thought he had taken the bait. Will definitely fall into my trap. Playing around by me. I saw he didn't reply to me, and I keep picking. Then I'll close my eyes and fight with you. He is still holding back. I want to take the current anger as a driving force for future revenge. Did I make a big move directly? Always proud he can't stand this the most. It exploded. You're going to come and fight me. I'm right in front of him. And greeted him with a smile. I see that his equipment is an attribute sword. As long as you inject elemental magic into the weapon. Can make up for knowledge? The flaws of being good at long-distance combat. I knew he had it. The man is still in the atmosphere and has not come back, said angrily. You dare to say that I am cowardly? Then I'll prove it to you now. Am I cowardly? The next moment, his momentum suddenly erupted. Xiang Shenghe took my strongest move. I raise my hand, and I want you to prove it to me too. But are you going to fight me with that kind of work in progress? My words kept him busy. What does that even mean? Actually, what I said was literally, the attribute sword was indeed a good piece of equipment, but only after he was really done. To unleash its full power. But it just so happens that in this layer of random boxes, I have all the equipment to complete that attribute sword. If I'm not mistaken, what he needs most now is a living attribute. Men don't believe me at all. Because of the equipment in the random box, they're all randomly distributed. Otherwise, how can it be called a random chassis? So, no one will know what equipment he will fall out of. I raise my hand and you are wrong. I do like to walk some unusual street scenes. I have an idea. As long as you join this defensive battle, I'll give you the equipment you need. After capturing this layer, how about I have another match with you? Click. The man took the knife directly. In fact, this is also the thoughtful self. The knife is indeed an unfinished product. If it is true as I said. That's not a good idea. Finally, he threatened me. Make me the best. Expect that box to have the equipment he wants. Otherwise, just give him and wait and see. Ding! The system prompts that a team of 5 has been formed. Teresa glanced back. His face was sweating. And then he asked me, become teammates with Yu Sheng in this way. Is it really reliable? I told him not to worry about it before he gets what he wants. Will never betray us. Then said, don't look at him, he's a monster. In fact, he is innocent at heart. These are the fireworks that call out to me. He rummaged around. Almost forgot to give it to me. I smiled. The double dragon sword has finally arrived. I heard that because of the trial tower, ancient relics are all related to holy relics. The magic of my hometown. Now that I have received such a trip, it is really extraordinary. Fireworks talk about it in detail. His grandfather told him to give it to me. This baby is his grandfather's favorite. He doesn't know why he gave it to me. When I opened it, I was immediately stunned. The word dowry is written on it. A moment later, I brought them to our stronghold. There is a chess piece on the west top. I told them not to worry, because the plan is all ready. This is a voice coming from behind. They're still wondering who robbed the arena. Look around. We stole it. And the other party obviously knows us. I glanced at the long knife on the young man's waist, and I have an impression of that picture and text. All with a sound, the young man and I said hello. You are Jiang Zhenghe, right? I am also at this time confirmed the pattern on his knife. They are the martial arts gang in the 21st floor of the Tower of Trials. One of the pies was the Dark Cloud Guild last time. This time there is another mountain and river party. It seems that the occupants really put their hands outside the tower. I graciously admit that I am indeed Jiang Zhenghe. May I ask what you want from me? Man introduces himself. His name is Nangongxian. I just said a word when I interrupted. I should let him introduce himself. After all, you Nangong private idiots. He's already a notoriously stupid kid. In an instant, the man's imposing manner suddenly darkened, and Teresa asked me, "What is the Nangong family? Do you know me?" I grin. I used to know them. In the martial arts world on the 21st floor of the Tower of Broken Love, many famous, and the Nangong family is one of them. Although they were carefully trained into elites. But it's just a group. Just an arrogant person with a higher heart than the sky. My words made Nangong tremble with evil spirits. Say the word you. And then the next moment I'm doing it. His unspoken words and actions. You guy, do you know who I am? He actually laughed at our Nangong family. I want to destroy your 3 clans, so I said, let's go. I'm tired of hearing this kind of low-level villain's lines. Nangong gritted his teeth in hatred. Although I don't know how you know. But you damn thing. How dare you insult our Nangong family? I want to destroy your 3 clans. The next moment, Nangong rubs. Straight out of the intestine. Let me be ready to die. This is the replication condition that appears on the system interface. As long as you find out the true colors of all the occupants, you can choose one of their skills. Make a copy. That makes me a little more serious. I didn't expect it to be here except for Nangong-chan. There are other occupants. If they came here specifically to check with me. That battle is too exaggerated. Trevor looked serious. Ask us what to do. I suddenly smirked. What else could I do? Regardless of their purpose. As long as I can replicate the skill, that's fine. Nangong-chan's eyes were red. Ordered the hands and feet of these guys to be removed. Fireworks and the two also instantly entered a battle state. Huang Yinan starts the machine. The monarch's big hand throws a big wave of gears. Just for a moment, machine summon has materialized. Pull a sound. The momentum on the fireworks is extremely rich. His skill has been activated. As long as the fireworks don't flinch, all enemy attacks can reduce damage by 15%. Teresa is also secretly changing clothes behind us. Kresha is in charge of the enemy behind us. A shield and a sword appeared in his hand. I look at the post office. Let him buy me 3 minutes. This is what the saint looked at them and said. No need to wait 3 minutes. His knife directly killed 17 people. He will be 3 minutes ago. Beat all these guys. Trey's Kill God enhancement skill has been activated. Battle Song skill stack activation. Lotus double grip. Because in these 10 minutes, all abilities only increase by 5 points. This feeling is really cool. Take a good look at our strength. The person on the opposite side calls the powerful, but Nangong Chenyi was indifferent. Yusheng's 2 knives flew out and slashed to the right, killing 2 people. His face turned cold. Let the other party send the strongest person to fight him. His voice just fell. Nangong Shin's figure carries a knife. Just slashed it. This made Yusheng's eyes cold. It seems that there are not only trash in this group. However, the next moment, Yusheng was directly slashed by Nangong Shan's sword. It made him lose his gold. Beads of sweat began to appear on his face. This time it was Nangong Qian's turn to mock Yusheng. You guys resilience is not bad. It seems that you are also a person who can use a sword, but even so, you are just an undefended arrow. It's just a matter of fact, I'll let you feel it for yourself. What is the true swordsmanship of a famous family? Nangong Xing slowly raised his knife. Murderous progress in the eyes. Song? Emperor CCB emerged from the thorns. Moment. There are 100 sword keys surrounding Yusheng. Yu Shengmei's party rises with a sword. I feel my arms getting heavier and heavier. He can feel it. Nangongshan and the guy who was just beheaded. Not on the same level at all. During Eugene's meditation, Nangongshan's figure. Suddenly he had arrived in front of Liu Sheng. Nangongshan's eyes widened. Let you see the real knife cutter. The knife hair has flown over. This makes Yu Sheng secretly feel bad. This trick may not be able to escape. Bang! I Ching. It was Teresa who jumped up. It helped me block the knife hair just now, but Teresa's posture is a little strange. I laughed. Teresa, you're doing well. No matter the timing or the strength. All just right. But now 3 minutes have come. Is it time for me to perform? I raised my hand. The fruit element was activated and flew towards Nangong Sheng. In an instant, the shadow of Nangong's predecessor was covered by a ball of flames. Yan is surrounded. Can't leave this place at all. On top of that, his feet were frozen from the frozen tree. That's when I jumped up. The power of fire elementium is condensed in the hand, and in the air I also activated daylight skills. He said that he wanted to get rid of the enemy in one go. This trick is not easy to extinguish at first. Don't you know the reason why you have to look at fire twice? Later, I threw the skill out with a smirk. Nangong Chen was about to be hit by my skill. At this moment, the sky, a guy with a long knife appeared above. Cross slash. Directly smashed the daylight skill. And the figure of the man, he also came behind Nangong Wei. This gives me an early warning. It seems that the other party, there's another great guy in the lineup. And this guy looks familiar. I see movement. This guy? It seems to be the house where the fireworks are cut down. The leader, the big man Noriko, has 2 lives. Unexpectedly, among the guys outside the tower. There are also people with such deep internal strength. These guys are exactly what I expected. They still showed up. It's to see through the hidden. The conditions for the occupants of the Mountain and River Society have been met. I was about to get my new wireless unit. Fusion with Grave of Swords. Thus obtaining a new skill. Sword Demon Emperor's Department. Can increase movement speed by 70% when used. It can also be used as a means of attack. His companion is still calling the Nangong line. I didn't expect shoes. Brother will also fall into the defeat of others. This Nangong hated gnashing his teeth and trembling all over. And he started yelling at them. I'm enough alone. Who made you stand up? Khan reminds him that we are not doubting your strength. It's just that the head asked us to win him over. Not to assassinate him. The purple-haired girl said that the Huangpu army was right. If he wants to join us. We don't have to fight him. Nangong Qian immediately explained, I naturally understand this. But he already knew we were from the tower. This gave the Huangpu army 3 strikes. I don't understand how. Know their identities? I'm getting calluses hearing this. As for all the fuss? Nangong Qian waved his long knife. He doesn't like me anymore. Must get rid of me. But he was stopped by the Huangpu army, because there are still 3 points left in the zombie fluctuation. It's coming around the clock. They must rush to the stronghold of the Wempoa army. We can hold on. They will come after the first wave is over. Nangong Qian stared at me. You're lucky this time. I won't take it lightly next time. The Wempoa army's stronghold is a large supermarket. It has 4 walls of high strength. The advantages of abundant materials. It is indeed the best stronghold for long-term defense. But it also has a fatal flaw. Assassin Zombie Gunma. We are about to arrive at our stronghold. Liu Yanhua and the 2 of them felt a little in their hearts. They thought I was for the thrill. I deliberately chose this strange stronghold. I point to the plants behind me. Reassure them. This sun plant, but it's more than they look. I asked them all to come. Tell them about my plan. The goal of the defensive battle is to stop the zombies from occupying the flag. The flag was placed at the top, in the middle of the arena. Our arena is mainly located in the east. 4 entrances in the southwest and north, and I've been at every entrance. There are sun plants everywhere, as long as they don't have an accident. Not only can we hold this big stronghold, and hopefully take advantage of the acreage, get the most head rewards. Although these plants can break most of the zombie fluctuations, but he needs about 1 minute of skill cooldown. So you need to resist zombies for 1 minute. Soon their tasks were assigned, and I finally got a chance to test it out. The power of the double dragon sword. Ding dong. The system prompts that the first fluctuation you start. Sure enough, a group of zombies rushed in the next second. Energy pooling in the buds of the sunflower. Use the skill sunlight. Poof! A big fireball spat out of the bud. For a moment, the arena became a sea of fire. The closest wave of zombies, all burned to ashes. After using the skill, the sunflower becomes sticky. He needs a minute to recover. I shout. The real defensive battle has just begun. Everyone hold on for a minute. Teresa's eyes provoke me. I don't know what's going on in my head. I looked at him and nodded. But Teresa blushed. Every time I'm in danger, I have Zhenghe by my side. And that sentence for precious companions. This is what I should do. It kept reverberating in his mind. The next second, Teresa's momentum suddenly increased. The body exudes a touch of sacred and majestic divine power, and pretty soon we were stopped by the first rush of food. The second wave of eating will start in 3 hours. On the other side, I haven't seen you for a long time. It also successfully resisted the first wave of grazing. I have to. His head is the most dazzling wherever it is. Here we go. The tower system will play a wonderful moment of a stronghold. Let everyone vote continuously. One of them put a 5-man camp in the arena as a stronghold. Get their attention? This shocked the head of the money giver. These budding newcomers all gathered together. Seeing Teresa made sending money even more exciting. He thought of being in the fallen cloister. Teresa cares about the way she looks. This braised egg blushed. He quickly ordered his brothers to vote for this video. The screen comes back to us. Teresa and the others were already sitting on the ground tired. Out of breath, we cleaned up these zombies. We got a total of 18,800 points of solar energy. This is necessary to further strengthen the plant. I'm going to take out a few seeds of different plants. Let them plant, in order for these plants to grow rapidly. I also make special fertilizers. I told them to wait until the next low tide. Be sure to take care of these plants. And then I separated from them, because I'm going to give Nangongxian a big gift. Soon I found this mirror into the supermarket. Then I got into their warehouse from the inside. Before success, connect to the stronghold where Nangongqian and others are located. At this time, Nangongqian was still shouting. Kill me! The girl with child hair thinks his idea this time is right. Even if you want to cultivate power, they don't have to accept. Those who disobey discipline make Nangong suspect of government. He didn't expect Tang Xiaoxia to speak to him. Wang Fujun is still there, because I recognize them by surprise. He is bitter. After thinking about it for a long time, I don't understand how I narrowed. Now he agrees with what Nangongqian said. It had to be eradicated. Permanent elimination. Suddenly the supermarket they were in shook. In their warehouse, a blood-red plant is eating everything. Cover my voice. I brought you a housewarming gift. I hope you enjoy my cherries. Just take the food from your warehouse. Just eat it all. The Wampoa army shouted at me to stop. Do you know what kind of trouble you're in right now? And I started to pick my ears. Are you a straight queen? When they heard this, they were even more shocked. They can't understand how I know the queen. Just before the third wave, once there are defenders, more than 200 strongholds were destroyed. Dominator of the 4th tier. The fetus of the deceased will appear. Everyone refers to her as the queen. Before, I'm still looking for a base with over 200 players. Worry, but Nangongqian and others have sent themselves to work. I can't thank them enough. Ask me in confusion. You know everyone here is working together. Neither is the queen's opponent. Why do you still want to summon him? I'll scream again when I hear that, because I'm too lazy to play the zombie game 100 times. So just be obedient and sacrifice. Then I escape from the hole above. Nangong gritted his teeth in disgust and told me not to run, kind of stay and fight him one-on-one. Boom, boom. Teresa and others in the arena listened. At the same time, the system sent a prompt that the large supermarket stronghold had collapsed. Xian Yusho has a weak premonition. He thinks it has something to do with me. Ding dong. Special events have been triggered. 4th floor. The owner of Pandariel has started his activities. At the same time, somewhere on the 4th floor, A woman opened his blood-red pupils. He is the boss of the 4th floor. It's the stage. At the same time, all players in this layer all receive this message. West, Yusheng always felt that this matter had nothing to do with me. But he doesn't understand what I'm going to do. I'm not in a hurry. Take out the equipment obtained by killing the 3rd floor boss. I crushed it in the shade. This thing blocks the sun. Summon darkness. Sure enough, the next second, the sun in the sky was slowly obscured. At the same time, Lost Dark attribute ability doubled. They're getting more powerful. They get in better shape. Possess light, characteristics of sexual ability. The power to kill him is reduced by half. Of course, the boss's dark ability has also been doubled. His bright red eyes looked towards me. Arrogant human. He immediately announced a general attack on the arena. That's good. Everything is going according to my plan. I uploaded the video right away. The content is that a large supermarket stronghold collapses him. Hidden boss appearance. And pretty soon it was in the top 10. And I'm playing the good guy who attracts the boss's attention. Buy everyone time to escape. Oil fireworks think I played a little too big this time. They don't want me to call the boss here. However, relatives and friends think this is a good thing. It's done after all. Nangong kyanet al sidekill. Broken, ask me if I have any way to fight the queen. I told them of course I had a way to win. He then stretched out his hand and pointed at Qian Yusheng. This time your role is the most important. Hear this. Qian Yusheng gulped down his saliva. He had a bad feeling. The queen is now led. The zombie army arrived at the entrance of the arena. He reached out and waved forward. The human just now is mine. All the rest were executed. The zombie army that received the order, rushing to the arena. There she goes. Everybody back up! Weapon summoned by Li Taemyoung. Bullets fired for free. Sunflower fire. The ball also sprays out at the same time. For a moment, the entire arena was on fire. Countless zombies turned into flying under this terrifying firepower. Ash, wait for the queen to lead the zombie army to rush in. But found only one iceberg. There are still 4 figures in the iceberg. There was a crisp ding sound. A purple crystal fell. The bewitched queen doesn't know what this is. He just picked it up and thought it looked good. At this moment, the brother with the remaining teeth sat down, cursed me to death. Because I 100,000 gold coins all over him. All leaving. After all, I'm not willing to spend my own money. I use the money to buy some equipment. And tell them that from now on, all of you will become bait. It's not exactly bait. And the purple crystal I bought. It's actually a booby trap. Sure enough, the next second, the crystal in the queen's hand radiates a dazzling light. And boom! The entire arena was shrouded in countless ice. All zombies, including the queen, are frozen. But this level of freezing, it just makes the queen feel cold. The next second he uses the skill Black Veil, breaking through this brief freeze. He put his big face in front of Teresa. Get him out of here. But Teresa can't speak now. Suddenly, sensing something, the queen turned her head and looked back. I saw a black figure, heading towards his base camp at high speed. This person is me. When he was frozen by me, I will use the skills Shallow Breath and Sword Demon. The Emperor did not slip out, and now the queen has come after me. He was terrified. Pandariel Shijin stage is collectively referred to as the queen. She has a high level and strong skills. Puristers are even more lethal. No weaknesses except intelligence. But the core of the 4th floor is stronghold defense. This principle applies not only to players. The same goes for zombies. That is to say, I got the flag of the zombie stronghold guard. You can clear the 4th layer, and I've frozen the flag together. Even if they break the iceberg, maybe you have to defeat Treekill 4 to get the flag. I just didn't expect it. The queen noticed a battle so quickly. But even then, it was too late. The distance between us, enough for me to end the fight. Now I have arrived at the queen's stronghold. There are only a few scattered zombies here. Then I put my feet on. Disappeared in place in an instant when I took out the double dragon sword. Skill Grave of Swords and Guardian of Stars are activated at the same time, just a face-to-face. Kill all these zombies! I finally found the flag in the skull. I guess that guy should have shown up too. A knife slashed towards me. I'm also extremely fast. Bend your legs down and hide. A giant scissor rattled. Food dodged. This monster with 2 heads. It is the guardian of the Queen's flag. Bald Frank. I rushed towards him. What should I do with him this time? Frank holding big scissors. You're going to cut me off. The sound of a gun. It was easily knocked down by my double dragon sword. Frank was a little surprised by the sturdiness of the double dragon sword. Didn't even notice that I had disappeared. I sent it on top of his head. At the same time, the flame in my hand is surging. 2.5 free turns in the air. A fire elementium slammed into his head. Frank's eyes. And the mouth is spewing flames. I also know this little attack doesn't pose much danger to him. His recovery speed is unparalleled. But for me, it's enough to keep him out of sight for a while. And I have already bring the double dragon sword to him. Countless chickens were cut across him between classes. While he was recovering rapidly, I have come behind him. Poof! The double dragon sword stabbed him in the back waist. Mandala. Launch. This skill can add special energy to weapons. There was a loud bang. A dazzling golden light shines. This guardian was easily destroyed by me. And my level also ushered in the kick shot. He also obtained a pair of scissors that carried the ghost. The next step is to end this battle. Just pull this flag. The 4th floor can be perfectly cleared. This is Ding Dong's life. The system tells me. The Black Hound wants to represent Egyptian mythology. Give me a suggestion. That got me interested. The Black Hound is the dog-headed Anubis. I thought he was going to be huddled in the basement. Just stay for a while. This is so much fun. I impatiently asked him to speak quickly. Now I don't have much time to listen to his nonsense. The virtual appearance of Anubis in the sky. This guy frowned and barked at my dog. I grabbed the flag and shook it twice. Are you mad? So should I just pull out the flag? Anubis panicked. He told me to calm down. So he told me the Egyptian gods wanted to see this battle. Step by step towards the end. It seems to be the dominators of the upper tower. Look, I didn't follow up. Fight hard and successfully capture the 4th floor. It's hard for them to accept. It's also possible that they simply don't like me. But why should I accept your advice? Obviously only need to pull down the flag to win. Hear this. A newbie bared his teeth and laughed. I can't refuse to say this. Then he asked me to propose a contract. I laugh at this. No, I didn't think of it. This is Ambius I've abused. How can you be so generous? And now the Queen has caught up. He found the flag still there intact. But it made him a little confused. You're asking me why I don't take down your flag. Did you win early? That's because someone told me to fight you. And I've already taken the deposit, so before I kill you, I can't take down the flag. I will take the big scissors that have just been remodeled, carry it on your body and tell him not to be too surprised, because I collect money first and then work. Pandariel drew a long sword wrapped in poison gas. Said to make me regret, I am also directly activating the skill Heart Guardian. Under the influence of shading, my light attributes have also declined. Even if I activate the maximum value of the gap skill now, it's hard to beat him. Pandaniel's feet disappeared in place in an instant, and in an instant he's coming up behind me. But it got me wrong. He's going too fast. Boom. And I was thrown flying with an arrow, hit the building in the back. Fortunately, I use a mandala in a critical moment. Gives weapons special energy. Barely fending off his attack, Pandariel was shaking with anger. Why don't you just disappear? The next second, his red hair grew rapidly. Like a few red, oily snake spots coming towards me. I used the Sword Demon Emperor's non-stop flashing film. His attacks hardly touch me. Ice-covering skill on my palm. Pandaniel was instantly frozen. Impossible to act for a short period of time. See this opportunity. I held up the big scissors and came to the top of his head in an instant. The knife was wrapped around his neck. This time, it also left him with a shallow wound. By this time, Pandariel had been released from captivity. This level of attack? There's no threat to him at all. I am naturally very clear about this, but I'm not doing nothing. Pandariel quickly approached me with a long sword. A sword wrapped in poison gas slashed straight at me. I shot an ice sculpture into his eyes. Let him go temporarily blind. I giggled. Easily dodge his attack. Then I rushed towards him with the modified scissors. As a result, he was slashed on the head twice. The Pandariel who reacted was one to me. I can't stop the cut. And I was also overwhelmed by his powerful power. Shake and fly to the sky. See the sword of Pandariel, waving like an electric fan. Hit the ground hard. Also use the skill Death Mourning. In an instant, a few green gases surrounded me. Anubis smiled contentedly at this scene. I took out the deposit he had given me earlier. White branches and hulangya. By the way, to Babu's me, a newbie who died here. Spee makes an international gesture. Then I fused these two pieces of equipment with the large scissors to obtain a piece with absolute judgment effect. Main God, sacred relics cut the chain of cause and effect, can take out those who cannot be taken out. Cut what cannot be cut. This powerful magic, make Pandariel sweat. This tower system gives a hint. Due to a non-compliance on the 4th floor, etc. Holy relics, the system intervened in the battle, affected by downgrade correction effect. This equipment can only be used once. As I expected, even if there is only one chance. That's enough. I hold a scythe, watching Pandariel grin. Pandariel sensed a hazy danger. He knew he couldn't escape, but he won't just wait to die. All the magic in the body is injected into the common. Then his strongest blow came straight in my direction. I also inject magic into breaking the causal link. If you don't dodge or avoid, you will win. With a sound, the collision between the weapons made a crisp sound. Pandariel's common is broken like a paper jug's. Even the knife died and slashed on his shoulder. Hit hard by this, Pandariel's body slowly dissipated. I also successfully passed the 4th floor, but he is much more powerful than the soulless 3rd floor. At this time, Chen Yusheng and others on the other side, they each received a set of random treasure boxes. Teresa was delighted. Jung Ho really did it this time. It collapsed quickly. Capture the 4th floor of the Tower of Trials. A day has passed. It's on TV. All of us in one day. The news of the capture of the 4th floor. To celebrate the successful capture of the 4th floor, I called everyone over and got together. Here's a close-up of Trey. And of course, Alice, the queen of dried rice. I'm glad to see them come so easily. I used to take trials, tower time, all alone. Unexpectedly, after the game became a reality, I have so many friends by my side. Now my level has reached level 29. I feel invincible at this upgrade speed. I immediately took out the reward for the 4th layer, Advanced Skill Enhancement Book, and I use it for one of my favorite skills. On ice sculpture, then I opened a random selection box. This is 1-button rotation. To extract probabilistic items for bizarre equipment, I pull the joystick directly. The turntable turns. Just press the red button in the center. But I won't press, because you'll never get anything good. Just place it like this. No matter how much time passes, it will stop rotating. All I have to do is keep pumping. As long as this is repeated 81 times, the wheel spins 99% slower, so that I can very easily draw the desired equipment. I also use the same method. Let Jiushin draw the equipment he wants. That made him very happy. I thought I could finally defeat me. Little did they know that this method would be punished. That is, the reward equipment will die after a week. The smile will not disappear, will only transfer to my face. I'm looking forward to seeing him in a week. The equipment I drew was a tricolor pill. He can be used to capture the next level. The most suitable equipment. In addition to that, capture the 5th floor, and one of the most important pieces of equipment. I am decisive. Use the ticket to enter the magic library. Then my figure appeared in the library. It's time to meet the old man. He is the ultimate manager of the Tower of Broken Love. Is the big man in charge of managing the magic library? Shanice, this is my first time with the management of the Tower of Broken Love meets. I also made a self-introduction. There are some differences when the old man sees someone coming. He lived to this age. It's also the first time I've met someone so soon. Stepping in here so soon, the most interesting thing for him. I not only came to this labyrinth, in the library, and there he was. I smiled. Explained that, because my luck has always been good. Hennessy told me, feel free to browse the books here. But he doesn't think I can read it at my level yet. Because at least you have to be able to read Rowan script. I picked up a random book and started reading it. Go to Ruin and I will naturally read. Hennessy noticed that my background is not simple. You need to know that the players who just occupied the 4th floor, no one understood Ruin. I could see that look on his face. I will directly activate the skill. The Trial of Anubis told him, I have been protected by the Egyptian gods. They loved me very much, and it's because of them that I'm here. Sids recognized it as Anu, the divinity of Bice. Just to them so quickly to the players. Interest is a bit surprising. Hennessy bowed to me. Apologize for the previous Bodai VIP, but it almost made me happy. If Anubis had seen this, I'm afraid I'll be wronged to death. He apologized to me sincerely. You can choose one here. Give me the book as a gift. I also chose one without talking nonsense. After all, it is cheap. Not accounting is not my style. At this time, the 5th floor of the Tower of Broken Love outside has been opened. A man who desperately escaped said on the news. The 5th level prohibits the use of all skills. Even the pressure space can't be summoned by the backpack. In the end, he escaped using the reversal style. Early the next morning, Teresa, invite me to the 5th floor of the Tower of Broken Love. But I refused. I didn't agree no matter what he said. Because I'm going to sneak in by myself. I still keep refusing. T was killed and no longer forced. Suddenly he grabbed my arm. Promise him not to be brave before letting me go. The 5th floor of the Tower of Broken Love has finally opened. As soon as I came in, my skills were sealed. And the system sent me a case. And random equipment, and this time the rule is to leave alive. This is what I received from the Kingdom of Kuradim. Sponsored gift. I remember they were with the martial arts forces. Kingdom of Rivalry. The gift they gave was an S-rated fuzzy body odor. It can eliminate its own odor and traces. It can only be used 3 times a day, but it makes me happy, because this skill is not limited by the rules of the 5th level, and they are also like martial arts gangs. Start contacting players you are interested in. I took it out earlier in the library. Got Masidri's mushroom book. One of my skills, get out of this lair. I chose Gluttony's Eye. This mushroom book will be of great use to me in the future. This is the other part with me. Players assigned to the same location showed up and I'm going to throw away this bunch of little kalams. Hurry up and complete this task. At this time, a golden ring suddenly appeared on my arm. Tracking circle activated. Move to the location where the tracking object is located. But it makes me panic. I don't even know when it will appear on me. Tracking circle. The next second, Teresa appeared in front of me. I don't think you'll keep your promise. So I followed. This is killing me. I clearly told him not to follow. In that case, I have to cash out. Random equipment developed by his system. Teresa's is a flashlight. And mine is a ballpoint pen. This thing is still very useful to me. And the other player pulls out his lighter. So you can barely see something. Teresa was just about to turn on the flashlight. But I took it down. Suddenly, believers here find light in the back. The sacrifice is there. Hurry up and chase the abnormal player and flee quickly. He urged the man to put out the fire. Teresa and I went into hiding. These believers didn't notice us at all. Teresa reached out and pointed behind her. He wanted me to go and save them. I made him fully subject to my judgment. From now on, we're going to be as stealthy as possible, because it's not ready enough right now. There was no way to make a breakthrough. Trey kills and steals. Said he came prepared. Then he took out 2 return stones. This is known as the necessary equipment to capture the 5th floor. This makes my head look big. This putty is kinda cute. This thing is useless. The other player on the other side is in a room. Defying the believers outside. a yellow hair, hurry up and urge the people behind to come and help. And these female players took it out and returned unhurriedly. Return ready to escape from here was crushed upon return. And what they discovered was that it wouldn't work. Boom. The gate they used to fend off the believers was blasted. An agent with a weapon broke in. They were freaking out. Here, players cannot use skills. There was no resistance. Power. The sudden screams made Trey kill a caddy. He also wanted to see how the group was doing. I didn't notice the personality behind me at all. The believer put a rope around Teresa's neck. Shout out for God's trap. Teresa was also quick to respond. Grab him by the collar. Bang! Threw him to the ground. I took the opportunity to kick him out. Hit the wall behind. And then the other believers came. Soon we were surrounded by them. Teresa is a little flustered now. Believers put their hands together, mouth still whispering. The gods wanted sacrifices of sacred blood. Let's come together to realize the king's return. Come and have eternal happiness. He's not finished yet. I was frozen through my neck by a ballpoint pen and several other believers behind him. The same was frozen through the neck. I stared at them like crazy. You guys say it again. And the other believers saw this, and they were terrified. The body can't stop retreating. And the agent comes along. I was born next to Teresa. Have you ever played peekaboo? Now the so-called surrogate is the cat. We must not be caught by him. Do not allow. Now the agent has swung the sledgehammer in his hand. Teresa and I just ran away. A yellow one on the other side. Believers are reporting information to the leader of Zidane. Master, you are making a successful arrest. Hearing this, the leader laughed out loud. God wants more sacrifices. The tower is now open. The stupid guys flock to it. It is the moment that can come again. A believer asked him to hurry up and check the surveillance footage. In the screen, it was me and the agent Teresa Bay chasing around. The leader saw some differences in this scene. He is still the first. Once I saw the agent working so hard, the black-robed man on the side recognized my identity. This person's name is Jiang Zhenghe. He is also in our plan. Is the most dangerous stumbling block. He's also holding a bird mask. He is us, the head of the grinding association mentioned earlier, Lancelot. At this point, Teresa and I were still running away like crazy. We're no match for this agent right now. I reminded Teresa, we have to get rid of him now. So we have a chance to complete. The next task, we quickly ran to a corner. Agent chasing. I only see a dazzling golden light in front of me. He smashed the light to pieces with a hammer. And this light, it's the flashlight Teresa got earlier. And this time, Teresa and I have been quietly hiding on the second floor. The agent has not found our location for the time being. I'll let Teresa listen. I'm going to lure the agent away alone in a while. You go find someone else and hide them. They all came in because they had to return. I can't get out now. Now the plan is a little bit more complicated. But I will try to capture the 5th floor as soon as possible. At this moment, Teresa was feeling a little down. I found that I shouldn't have followed on my own initiative. Just in case. I also specifically told him one thing. After telling him, then he can find the right time to use it. Teresa was a little confused about this, so I looked at him with a slight smile and said that I waited until that moment. You will definitely feel it. And I lured the agent away. Teresa was rummaging around. Then find a handy weapon. He needs to save those people now. Now I have attracted the agent and ran for 2.5 minutes. Teresa must be gone by now. Far from the natural life, the Eye of Panchea is activated. Also received a warning from the tower system. Discover activities that violate the 5th layer of English law. The rotting heart thinks you're funny. The conditions for the 2nd round of job transfer have arisen. Gradually, the rotten heart has a suggestion for you. I hope you can be his cocoon. If you speak English, he can make you a black master and apprentice. A rotting heart. He's just like Alice. It also exists in one of the absolutes at the top of the Tower of Trials. It is called the Demon King here. The reason why the 5th layer conceals skills? It was borrowed from his power. If someone is here, try to get rid of this restriction. That will attract his attention. This fly, Stu may be able to use higher order abilities. You will never again be the devil for life. Punishment. If it is the grinding association, I will definitely be eager to agree. But I am a tiger. How can you be a subordinate to a wild dog? I was single-handed for a while and decisively chose to refuse. The Demon King was instantly furious after being rejected. Even the agent was horrified. Then hold your head. Trembling all over, he pounced on the ground. Suddenly, a black energy rushed madly into my heart. This is me rejecting the devil. The demon curse of the proposal. Cursed. I will be the target of all demons. This curse will stay with me until I die. I spit out a mouthful of blood. That's pretty painful, but that's exactly what I expected. This is where I have come to the believers.
Are you just watching?
I ticked my finger for them to come over. Side kill on the other side. Successfully found the previous gang. This black girl is shaking with fear. We will all die here. Teresa understands. They are already in fear. This is what a believer wants. Attack on Teresa, but was easily beaten down by Teresa. Then I hit him hard on the chin with a stick. He was alone in front of a group of believers. No fear at all. It also inspired people to take up arms and resist. My buddies are taking the 5th floor. Little do I know that at this time I have been represented, carried it on my shoulder and took it away, and then along with the other players here. As a sacrifice, locked in an iron prison, soon after, a young man came to see me. This is the first time we have met. From him, I can feel its human magic. Can be with the boss on this floor. He should also be a grinder. I use the Eye of Gluttony, but I can't read his status window. The other party is at a high level, the state of being unleashed in the spiritual realm. I took out a white pill. This thing was originally reserved for fighting against the sect master, but now there is no way. After using it, it can make one of my abilities worth 10. Double in minutes. After adding adaptability, my gluttonous eye can easily see through it. This person's name is Bert. Level 38, Knight of the Round Table. He's the grind Melina said before. The leadership of the association. This mental frugality skill is really tempting. Maybe it can become the driving force to resist the power of God in the future. The condition for copying is to let the other party say your knight's name. Second, before finding out his knight's name. You have to act like you have a secondary illness. This makes me look bad. Both conditions must be satisfied at the same time. Can be copied. This Bert never saw me speak. A little puzzled, I said sorry. I'm busy suppressing my inner darkness right now. The leader on the side heard this. I think there's something wrong with my brain. He even wondered if I was the one he was looking for. Actually, I'm bored too. I hope they didn't hear me. Walter's tone was serious. I don't think you understand the situation yet. Did you know you need to be sacrificed when you get caught? I'm still pretending to be crazy here. Do you rush? You think you can imprison my shattered madness? Bert's face turned black. He had no idea what I was doing, thought I was hiding some amazing plan. Bert doesn't beat around the bush anymore. As long as you tell me about the unknown. I can give you the key. I asked him to tell me his name first. Then I can tell him the unknown is. Belt thought. Anyway, everyone here is dying. It's okay to say your real name. He took out the 2 masks. My name is Bert. Also called Lancelot. Are you satisfied? At the same time, I have met the conditions to replicate his mental enchantment. This skill can enhance the ability of the artifact. It can also protect the state from ultra short. I told him to listen. I'll only say it once. In fact, the unknown is knowing the answer I gave. Lancelot is gone. He also left the key as agreed. But if you can't open the iron door at all, I'm not in a hurry. I've seen through these guys' little tricks. Speaking of this time, Teresa should have been caught too. At this time, Teresa was also locked in the iron prison on the other side. The black girl is bullying a little girl, but was stopped by Trey. The black sister has some differences about this. The saint sister. Do you know what you're doing? The people we're protecting now are the occupants of the tower. This surprised Teresa, and the little girl's eyes are dodging. Teresa didn't look at her strangely. Because little girls are like Teresa and others. They were all caught. The little girl's name is Andrea. One day the believers suddenly arrived. Believers in the village where he lives say, as long as they can offer a villager as a sacrifice, the whole village will live. And Andrea has no parents. The villagers agreed that he should. The appearance of the village, hear this, Teresa touched Adria's head. Although they are called tower dwellers. But in fact, they are no different from ordinary people. At this point, I was taken away as the first sacrifice. I was in a passing pool. Lost a red pill. I smirk. In this way, the preliminary preparations are completed. Presumably, Teresa will definitely be choosing the sacrifice. Stand up without hesitation, although this is the first time I have conquered it in this way. This floor, but so far it's going pretty well. And the hidden mission also appeared. As long as every crazy believer is killed, my adaptability goes up 0.1. Adaptability increases by 30% when exterminating a leader, although each time an ability value will be awarded. But I didn't think it would give me adaptability this time. At this moment, the devotees attending the sacrifice ceremony are going crazy. Shout out to the elephant god for glory. Offer holy joy. After arriving at the ceremony, we were also released from the list. At the top, a believer holds a microphone and shouts to the gods. What's your favorite sacrifice? The believers below immediately shouted in unison. Noble sacrifice. Believer with microphone stretches, pointing to a pillar. Benevolence this and man for a child he met for the first time. Step up. Sacrificed himself. How noble is that? We will use the blood of this noble man to decorate this living sacrifice. The end of the ceremony, seeing this figure made my pupils lock. Teresa was treated like this. I just wanted to get rid of this layer. NPCs that can increase ability values, it's over. But they totally pissed me off. I use Makai directly. Dryan's mushroom book. I managed to get rid of the family of the 5th ruler. And everything that was sealed was lifted. I waved my hand, used the skill Fire Elemental Flame to hit accurately. Red pill flame time. Several fire tornadoes raged at the ceremony. I took the knife out of the subspace. Snap. Cut the chains that bind Trevor. I flashed to the spot where he fell. Catch him firmly. I measured his pulse. Fortunately, it's okay. I took out the last black pill. From now on, whether it is an ability, an NPC, or something, I'm going to kill them all. I took the black pill case. Skill black barrier unfolds. Instantly, a thick black fog enveloped the entire venue. Fleeing believers. No way forward at all. I waved my hand, summoned the double dragon sword, skill Grave of Swords fully activated. In the darkness, several believers still praying to the great devil. God gives them guidance. Suddenly, a figure with 2 knives appeared in the black fog. He exuded an aura of shooting people. These believers are excited. I thought the red god answered their prayers. I've been by their side overnight. And these believers have lost one place. At this time, Teresa, who was in a coma, slowly woke up. See me by his side. I can't help but attack. I hate you and be brave again. I knew you would come. He's dead. He's dead. He was actually killed by the boss of the 5th floor. Just now, I succeeded in being sacrificed to Trey. Killed and rescued. I also got it through hidden quests. Adaptability up to 23. Now just kill the leader and get out of here. Other players imprisoned here as sacrifices. All released by Teresa. Release everyone's Teresa. Hug the previous little girl to tie the knot. But it took me out of my head for a while. When did Teresa meet a little girl? It turns out that this little girl's name is Andrea, is a resident of the card, captured by believers as sacrifices or believers. This makes me a little angry, my precious 10 minutes. It's wasted in this place. Now the effect of mushrooms. 2.5 minutes left. Wait a minute, if he's a tower dweller. I may have a plan. I went straight to Andrea. The residents here are crazy believers. Why didn't you become a believer? Hear this. Andrea's lost head bowed. Silence. Said a word, because I don't want to believe in the existence of a god. It turns out that the villagers in Andrea's hometown abandoned him because he had no parents. So if there really is a God in his heart, then he is also responsible for creating this desperate hell. The culprit says here, Andrea can no longer suppress the grievances in her heart, crying if this is all God's plan. That God is a dog thing. I feel the same way. I was also born and raised in an orphanage. Without parental care, growing up alone is really hard. Andrea feels much better when she hears this. But he was still a little worried about the leader. I promised him I would help kill the leader. Let him get out of that dog's nightmare. So will you be my partner? Andriato nodded without hesitation. I decisively signed a soul brand with him. I will have one more friend in the future. What to do now? It's just to get the head of the leader. At the same time, the duration of grinding the drum book has ended. All my skills were also sealed. The leader on the other side kept muttering, "Offer joy to God. Give glory." The leader is completely different from ordinary believers, although he can't use skills like a player, but ridiculously strong. It was my plan, to subdue him with the advantage of being able to use skills. But now I can't use my skills anymore. If I fight him hand to hand, there's a silver lining. But the most dangerous thing about that guy is the holy relic he holds. It's a junk jar. This is a sacred relic rich in spells. Can kill the specified object by absolute judgment. I can only find a way to resist it once. After using that skill once, it will take a long time to use it again. So Trey kills. Your task becomes particularly important. Before the leader casts the spell again, need to help me hold him down. Hear this. Teresa gulped down a mouthful of saliva. He was a little flustered. Soon we were in the room where we finally died. It's just that the guy named Lancelot is gone. Cult Master coldly. He got what he wanted and left. All I can say is that he's really discerning. Fake, I still want to solve him together here. The leader grabbed and ran. I don't know. Why can you ignore God's people? Practical skills development. He abruptly removed his robe, holding a jar in his hand. He wants to help me become a sacrifice to God. Let me atone for the island. Cressa recognized. This is the relic I was talking about earlier. I slammed my feet against the wall. Take the lead in attacking the sect leader. At the same time, Trey's figure also moved at this moment. He knocked me down with such ease. And Teresa's slide kicked him in the leg. I urged Teresa to hold him back now. Hearing this, Teresa immediately took out a piece of cloth. He stabbed the leader in the mouth. Take this opportunity. I quickly run to the leader and snatch the restaurant in his hands. This sect leader actually bit and didn't pick. He used the power of his head to send Trey flying. I'm about to grab the jar. But at this moment, the leader also smashed his fist at me. I've been mad all my life. This is really just one step away. Unfortunately, I can only give up snatching the jar. He punched her in the jaw. After a brief confrontation, I quickly distanced myself from him. I used to be unarmed. Beat a guy 10 times your size. Do you think I can't beat you? The classical cult master laughed out loud and had some ability. I love high sacrifices like you the most. The jar in his hand glowed blue. The leader's head is in the jar. Mouth incantation sound. It's pretty slippery. The eyes of the skeleton on the jar lit up. There is still blue and black devil energy coming out of the mouth. Sing with the mantra tone. The skeleton instantly lit up with a dazzling light. Next second, countless blue and black demonic energy wrapped towards me. This is the spell I mentioned. This is a gift attack. I can't escape at all. I let Teresa remember, this skill cools down a lot. You just have to pay attention to the skull's eyes on the jar. You can guess when he was... Can be used again, and I'll leave it to you for the rest. Cressarial disease. He didn't understand my last sentence. What do you mean? It's raining. I was frozen through by the attack of something in town. Teresa just froze in place. Now he understood what it meant. Teresa quickly rushed towards me, yelling no. The system sends a prompt that you are dead. Since the curse of the Death Lord has been lifted. The leader smiled coldly while holding the jar. What a fresh offering. The devil will be very happy. Teresa was shaking my body. Janae, wake up. You open your eyes and look at me. This scene made the leader even more crazy. Did the death of your partner cause you much pain? If it wasn't painful enough, that's not a worthy sacrifice. Salt sent Trey flying with one kick. Kresh's eyes are wide. Staring at him angrily, he wants to avenge me. At this time, the sect master also discovered Andrea huddled next to the cabinet. There you are. And he puts out his hand. See you, Cressa. Both feet are moving the ground. The whole person rides directly on the neck of the sect leader. Against his waist, with a violent force, the leader was thrown out. Trey clenched her fist with tearful eyes. I will not hand Andrea over to you. The leader who was thrown was not hurt in the slightest. He doesn't understand, Trey. Why is Sarah still so fighting? His expression gradually became hideous. You are also a great sacrifice. Don't scold. He raised his fist and kept attacking Teresa. And Teresa can only dodge. He knows he has no feathers. There is no chance of winning in a head-to-head battle. He picked up some stones from the ground. His two sounds destroyed the light bulb on the roof. And Teresa uses the darkness. Quickly hid. In this way, the leader's vision will definitely be limited. What he has to do now is grab the jar as soon as possible. Otherwise, if he starts the spell again, we're doomed. Suddenly, the leader's punch smashed. Fortunately, Teresa's reaction was fast to avoid the past. He doesn't understand each other. How did you suddenly find yourself? The leader stared at Teresa's escape. Haha, laugh. I like to play cat and mouse. If I find it again, the game is over. Your bright blonde hair. It's also conspicuous in the dark. Now Teresa knows why. And he had a plan in mind. The leader saw his blonde hair again. Smirk. If you're willing to be a believer, I will spare your life. When he walked in, he realized there is only hair here and no one, and the special scum took the opportunity to appear from behind him. Snatch jar. It was discovered before it could succeed. This reaction speed was beyond Teresa's expectations. While he was stunned, the leader punched Teresa with all his strength. Come to exterminate. Bang! A jar smashed into the leader's face. It was Andrea. The leader gritted his teeth angrily. You damn stinky girl! It's like making you a trap for my jar. Same time, Teresa snatched the jar from his hand. The leader is not in a hurry. What's the use of you robbing him? Do you want to claim to be a sacrifice to God? Teresa didn't speak. He found that the jar just arrived and could be restocked. Time of first use. Then he remembered what I had said before. You need to write this spell down. Mississippi. Paddling machine. Then you can find the right time to use it. At that moment, you will definitely feel it. Now Teresa finally feels it. And that moment is now. Teresa chanted a spell, Missimi. Smooth and not rubbish. Same time, the eyes of the skeleton on the jar lit up. The leader was afraid when he saw this scene. Shout out that you've seen Pleasant Goat and Big Wolf too. Special commission to kill. Aim the skeleton at the cult master. This is what a boss told me. Yemba. Blue-black magic appeared in the skeleton's mouth again. These magic powers came to the sect master in an instant, no matter how he shouts Lord Demon King. It didn't work either. His body was frozen through like tofu. At the same time, the system will give a prompt. You have defeated the boss of the 5th floor. Teresa came to me again to fight. Shake of life. Wish I could wake up. After seeing that I still didn't respond, he burst into tears. He kept apologizing. Said he shouldn't follow me willfully. Ting dong. The colloid is removed. The omnipotence of the Demon King has disappeared. Skill usage restrictions have been lifted. A touch of golden power wraps my body. The Guardian of the Heart has been activated. Can be resurrected once upon non-immediate death. Cooling down 240 hours. Teresa smiled at this scene. Said it 3 times in a row. Great. I sat up on purpose. It hurts to experience death. By the way, why are you crying again? You were the same way when you were in the maze before. He sprayed and punched me and I just wanted to cry. What could you do? Wardlaw, this is killing me. Why did you cut your hair? What Teresa doesn't understand is, I have now defeated the boss of the 5th floor. Why don't you show it? Open information on the next level. I pointed directly at the back door. Strictly speaking, the condition for the capture of the 5th floor is to escape the secret room. In other words, walking out of that door is a success. So I looked at Andrea Island. There's a different place on this floor. That is, you can choose the boss position to inherit. So who gets the jar of this relic? Who will become the new owner here? Now I want to hand this position to Andrea. This surprised Trey and the others. Because I promised him before, let him live in a world without a leader. Live your life. You can now live as you please. Don't let Ren, who dragged you into the abyss of misfortune, Ting Dong, to succeed the master, grow rapidly with the microvision of the ruler. In an instant, a touch of golden energy envelops Andrea. You're an adult in the blink of an eye. He flopped down on one knee in front of me. I am Andrea, the owner of this desolate land. I would like to lead all that exists here, at your command. At the same time, I also received a system prompt. You have become the first player to have been kept by the boss. Your achievements have been saved to Fengyun Island. I gently stroked her head starting today. You have to smile more. Have fun. Anglia hugged Sister Teresa. You must come and see me often. Teresa hugged him tightly too. Don't worry. I definitely will. So far, the 5th floor has been successfully captured by us. At the same time, the 6th floor of the trial tower has been opened for capture. The remaining time is 90 days. At the same time, the traveling saint on the other side also got the news. It pissed him off. Chao Dusk scolded Dao Zhangzhenghe. Don't you want to give me a chance to catch up with you? Suddenly, his door was smashed into pieces. A young man with the usual yellow hair barged in. First, Yu Sheng immediately took out his weapon to guard against the opponent. He could sense that the yellow-haired person was not good. Huang Maoan invites Li Dao, my name is Zhouwen, unexpectedly unknown. How could you live in such a cramped room? Sage Kenyo is stupid. He knew they had mistaken him for a position. When I think of this place, I can't be angry. I greeted all 18 generations in my heart. Then I heard the room he was in. There was a harsh roar. The other side. While shopping with Alice, my ears suddenly itched. Since Alice, after experiencing the life of human society, it's a shopping spree every day, with his formidable financial resources. It's about to cause monetary inflation. The first time I let him train Andrea, a prerequisite for being a ruler, and I've grown much faster than I expected. The adaptability value has reached 78. If you add the sword chi value, then I am the existence that crushes all players. There is the reward equipment obtained by capturing the 5th floor this time. I didn't expect it at all. Demolish the vigilance. This equipment can be connected to the trial tower, anywhere below the 10th floor, and it will grow. Then I called to inform Jin Xiongqi. Let him help me make an appointment with someone from the Samurai Guild. Then the economy of the Samurai Guild found me too. He wants me to help him take the 3rd level of the maze. Grey Temple, and the price he needs to pay, it is the polar end of a 3rd floor. It hurt him a lot, but the thought of attacking so many times and failing, things reduced to laughter, and my own team leader, the location may not be guaranteed. Unfortunately, he can only agree to my request. Next, I should prepare to capture the Tower of Trials. 6-story stuff. Subsequently, Alice and I came to the Vienna concert. Here it is. I copied some music-related skills. Because of the forest of elves on the 6th floor of the Tower of Trials, here is a group of elves guarding outsiders. As long as you spend 90 days in it, it can smoothly open the way to the next level. So most players just close. Participation stamp for Tier 6. Then it starts to move to the next level for the machine. Work hard to upgrade, but each floor has a corresponding goal. There are also opportunities that can be obtained before this invasion. I must be fully prepared. And the next day, I came to the Labyrinth Grey Temple on the 3rd floor. He is the busiest in the tower, the most dynamic first-round job transfer agency. Most people come here to find drivers. It's all about changing jobs, but they didn't know that. There's an evil labyrinth deep underground here. Dinky Tai also came over. This invasion is crucial to them. The decision to attack this time is entirely mine, including everything that appears in it. I can take it all. There is only one request for scheming. That is to capture this maze. Now that you are here, I happen to be choosing my career, by the way. I've used most of the professions here. After thinking for a moment, I chose the enchantress. This is just right for me. Whether in a museum or in a maze, westward winning that guy will add to his enchantment skills. So proud. Then I'll crush him completely this time. I accepted the task of changing classes as a boundary master. At this time, people from the traditional samurai guild also came. Kim Kite gets annoyed when he sees them. He has already said, will not involve people from the traditional samurai guild. Craftsman's Temple of Grey. The leading young man laughed. You have disappointed everyone with your repeated failures. Since the maze is beyond your reach, just invite everyone to fight together, okay? The economy is choking. He couldn't think of any words to refute the other party. The traditional samurai guild has been growing extremely rapidly recently. It is said that they are very capable of organizing. There are also players on the upper 30th floor who testify, so I came over. This young man has naturally heard of my name. I secretly speculate about my relationship with the samurai guild. I just overheard their conversation a little strange. And what he's saying is, because the samurai guild is weak, that's why it keeps failing. In my opinion, they are all half a caddy. This made the bald guy on the side very upset. He really wanted to give me some light. But he was stopped by the young man on the side. After all, he didn't dare to be casual, offend an S-level player. Youth basic school party. It doesn't matter how fast you speak. Because our union has registered players who have been to level 30, I have already thought of all countermeasures. My stone eyes tell me. What he said is true. That means at least this guy himself believes in this world. I just happened to pull him out. Penshu's eyes flashed through the crowd. Finally, a low-key young man was locked in. This person's name is Takeshi Yamamoto, is a half-skill futuristic yin and yang. This skill increases with the player's proficiency. It allows it to spy on the upper level. This is going to be fun. This skill is half-futuristic. I'm very interested. This Takeshi Yamamoto relies on me to keep staring at myself, a little hairy in my heart, although I don't know who it is. But since you have climbed to a 30-story building, that's pretty amazing. After all, everyone has letters above the 10th floor of this tower. No, nothing. Hear this. Yamamoto made me promise to go with them. This era is about information warfare. The economy is too tough to let them in. But I still promised. Pretty soon, a group of people entered the Grey Temple in a mighty manner. Player statues are everywhere along the way. Too bad these people are hopeless. The young man took out a shield to tell everyone not to worry. They've already figured out a plan. This equipment is called the Shield of Perseus. I don't know where he got it from. I hope he knows the correct way to use it. This is the first one in the Tower of Trials, second special reward for cleaners. Inside the delivery is a skill imprint of the month. Can reduce the activation time of enchantment skills. Increase the power of the enchantment. Many other lost languages were blocked. Hidden in this tower, if I had all of it. You can also learn to sew nameless shortcuts. This skill far exceeded my expectations. I've been looking for him since I climbed the tower, but never found any clues about him. I didn't expect it all to be for Tower of Broken-Hearted reward for the first player to clear the level. What excites me is there's still me. Unknown fields. Yamamoto closes his eyes. Using skills is half the future. After a moment, he whispered in the young man's ear. Hear this. The young man immediately prepared everyone for battle. The voice just fell. A giant cobra appeared in front of us. People from the traditional samurai guild saw this. Activate skills simultaneously. Countless attacks. Chiki falls on the body of the plot glasses. The young man took a leap. Appear with a shield on top of the glasses. An endless punch knocked him to the ground. That's all. The cobra was killed by the combined efforts of the crowd. And the samurai guys on the side. They found out how strong they were. I don't need my group of people at all. And then we forked on our way. Yamamoto didn't know where to go for a while. Hesitant at 3 or decide to go left. It seems that I think too highly of him. This guy's general future vision is not as powerful as thought. But it doesn't matter, because whether it's left or right, all lead to the first. Soon we encountered a light trap. Yamamoto told everyone not to worry. Just use the magic shield to pass. The audience who received the instructions, people immediately act on his request. a moment that can be wiped by light. Someone in the team was killed. Yamamoto cursed in his heart. It's all because of that guy Jung Genke. But he's not going to get out of here either. When he turned around, he was stupid. Because of me, the team I lead didn't follow them at all. The more runes on my fingers. Started the first round of job transfer tasks. Moment. The runes form a rune ball at my fingertips. Under my control, cover the team. At the same time, the first condition of the job transfer task has been completed. Physical method. Light hits the fast-moving runes. It was all ejected. I let all 50 guilds stay in the festival world. Get the equipment with your own money. Just dodge 300 light attacks. I can get a piece of equipment. It requires mastering the attack rhythm of the light. It's very simple for me. People from the traditional samurai guild ahead. People keep getting killed. And I'm constantly dodging attacks. Complete the mission to dodge 300 attacks. Soon I pass the light trap. Completed this hidden mission. The spark of this device. Success was also achieved by me. Traditional martial arts. You know, people get hurt when the stock market crashes, I said innocently. Why did so many die? Unfortunately, my barrier can only protect 30 people. Can't take you in. This made the young man furious. You damn guy. Did you already know about this trap? I'm cold. Doesn't the guild have a boss who has been to the 30th floor? What does your heavy loss have to do with me? Hear this. Yamamoto hit me hard. Point to the back road. Now is not the time to settle accounts with me. Ding Dong reached a special condition. Got a burning spark. The next second a fire snake appears. He is the guardian of the Grey Temple. Yamamoto. 2 No. 7 middle school is very This time panicked. They are likely to be wiped out. I bared my teeth and cheered them up. The game has just begun. You have to survive to settle the bill with me. At the same time, on the other side, Queen Medusa also opened her eyes. The team of Sanben and others has just gone through a big battle, encountered the tongue of fire again. Not an opponent at all. I asked them to hand me the shield. They're literally licking the sky with that. The young man refused immediately without thinking. Only stupid fool would give holy clothes to others casually. And this time, this firefly snake's attack is ready to go. I immediately activated the glacier sculpture block. Before his death, I sighed helplessly. In this case, there is no way. I can only retrieve the shield after he is dead. In the next second, in the mouth of the firefly spit out a hot flame. Terrible heat. Make Yamamoto and others feel like they are about to melt. Just be touched. The guest room will become a conversation. The leading young people understand. We must face this attack head-on. Because this time the location is a promenade. There was nowhere to hide. After figuring it out, the young man immediately blew the shield in his hand. Form a magic shield. At the same time, let Yamane Takeshi hide behind himself. The moment the flame and the shield touch, his shield shattered like paper. Before death, the young man did not forget to tell Yamamoto 5 to live. And he himself. We were consumed by this terrifying fire. I calmly picked up the shield of Perseus. If they knew how to use this holy witch. Won't die at all. Hear this. Yamamoto was puzzled and asked who I was. He sees my every move. It's like anticipation. I smirk that your skills are half done. Didn't the future help you predict? Hearing the words, Yamamoto knelt on the ground with a plop. He just found out now. I've already seen through his skills. He completed the skill. I can't see the future about me at all. More urgently want to know. What do I have to do with him? During conversation, the firefly snake spewed out of its mouth again. Fiery flame. I immediately launched the glacier sculpture, knocked down his attack. Now that pisses me off. I hate it when people interrupt me. Then I waved my hand and used the skill Glacier Prison. The firefly snake was instantly frozen into an ice sculpture. He didn't have any power to fight back in front of me. This scene dances under the landslide. I can't even close my mouth. This is not the strength that ordinary players can have at all. I looked at him with a smirk. You ask me what I have to do with this tower. I'm actually the exiled tower god. Takeshi Yamamoto heard the word god, and my brain started to rumble. God is the absolute being that dominates the upper floors of the tower. Now he figured it out. Why are my abilities so far beyond human range? Come to think of it, he immediately made a mistake for not recognizing me in time. Kowtow and apologize. But it almost made me laugh to death. If I were a god, it's not like climbing the tower layer by layer like this. At least build an elevator. I can only explain. I'm now being exiled into a human body. That's why it's like this. In the future, I will still attack the upper echelons. You should be able to help me a lot. Hear this. Takeshi Yamamoto was flattered. He didn't expect me to think so highly of him. I asked him to think about it. Do you want to conquer this city with me in the future? Tower of Trials. Naturally, he would not miss the opportunity given by God. After all, this opportunities may not come once in a lifetime. And he said yes. I have to say he is very flattering. As proof, I'll give him a little stigmata. With this stigmata, if he dares to betray me, he will be burned to death. And I gave him a few things. Tell him to do it quickly, and no one should know about this. With imperfect physical methods, people who ignored the union also rushed over. They expressed their gratitude to me. Thanks to me, they can survive intact. I asked him not to be polite. The crisis is not over yet. The guy's pet snake died. The owner of this temple will definitely not give up. The voice just fell. A cold wind suddenly blew in the silent corridor. A green figure moves rapidly within the temple. Yellow hair immediately gets everyone ready for battle. Also remind everyone never to look at this monster. A strong man, I'm not ready to react to the unexpected. He's still looking around. Next lesson, 2 cold hands grabbed his head. 2 people face each other. The burly man immediately recognized this as Queen Medusa. He hasn't had time to shout out yet. The body turns to stone little by little. Then it was smashed to pieces by Medusa's tail. Savage and unreasonable human beings. You not only trespassed in my temple and killed my pet. Today, I'm going to make you all give my baby. Pet burial, powerful magic enveloped everyone. It's panic. But they are too afraid to open their eyes. The yellow hair immediately cheered everyone up. We are here for this moment. Rock Tyrant raises the command of common use skills. Members' anti-terrorism capabilities and morale has increased by 20%. At the same time, the mages in the rear launched a lightning attack. But with their eyes closed. Can't hit Medusa at all. Medusa is just a random tail. They flew them all out. After all, his ability is not just about telling the truth. Others, the only person standing on the field is just now. The mage, from the constant screams. The current team has lost a lot. And this time, Medusa, the queen's attack has come over his head. The mage is still complaining. I can't see anything with my eyes closed. He has no way of knowing everyone's information. Watch the attack of Queen Medusa. To tear it to shreds. I go up and play cards. Hit Queen Medusa in the face. Medusa is like a kite with a broken string. Hit the building in the back. I told everyone to back off. This guy belongs to my prey. Medusa came to her senses and found. I looked him in the eyes. Why didn't it turn to stone? Little do you know, my gluttonous eye is immune to his truth. Medusa screamed. Using the Gorgon realm, his magic attack has increased by 30%. Speed is reduced by 15%. The next second, the viper on his head opened its mouth. Spit acid at me. I used Sword Demon Emperor, constantly dodging his attacks. And we're closing in on him. Attack speed is so slow, there was no way he could have hit me. Hear this. Medusa Hoy stood up and grabbed me. I immediately injected my magic into Porteus. In the shield, blocked his attack from the front. This shield can triple my double room. Queen Medusa was shocked. He didn't expect himself to be even Gorgon. Fields are used, I can also take his attack head-on. While he was stunned, runes flow on the fingers of my left hand. It clicked on his forehead. Leave a rune. My fingers are hard. Use the skill to seal the level. Next second, Queen Medusa was sealed by an enchantment. At the same time, I have also completed the conditions for the transfer of the enchantment master. Medusa is still struggling in the enchantment. But no matter how hard he struggled, it was useless. With his strength, can't get rid of my 3 stars at all. Boundary seal pass. The poor Queen Medusa was crying. He didn't expect that one day he would be killed by someone else. You know, I have completed the 3 conditions for the transfer task. Because I succeeded, the application is for a high-level boss monster, so I can switch careers to frugality. Master's Advanced Hidden Profession, Luenyu Interpreter. I will understand the true meaning of Luenyu, and by reinterpreting it, create something that didn't exist in the world. The enchantment created by Lune and the Detoxifier. Twice the performance of ordinary enchantments, but it will make me happy. There is a hidden profession. Sure enough, the more difficult it is to achieve the conditions, the better the reward. That is to say, this tower has infinity. A place worth exploring. The mark of the moon is also engraved at this moment, on my arms. In this way, my time to activate the enchantment will be reduced by 1/4. The power will be increased by 30%. Now I really want to use him to bully people. Subsequently, I contacted the administrator of the magic library, Hennessy, to get him to take me to the big library. So I decided, give him this still-flavored Medusa. Have weird. Hennessy naturally couldn't refuse. He was very happy for me, opened the door to his side. What I didn't expect was, this is the path to the 42nd floor of the trial tower. The gates of the ancient Egyptian city of gods. It's still me, face to face with God for the first time before reaching level 100. Janice Kunhi smiles. I happen to be dealing with some things here. I asked you to come by the way. You should also know, this is where the Egyptian gods are. It just so happens that the gods want to see you too. I heard his tone. It seems that I said myself before, protected by the Egyptian gods. This lie is revealing. Not long after walking, seeing Ness raise his hand and pointing at the previous question. Do I know what this is? There used to be a statue here. But now there's only one crater left. In the name of Lord Anubis, after the fraud spread. And this is what happened here. Annie is also reduced to a joke in the mouth of the Egyptian gods. And now he wants to tear you apart. All I can say is it's a pity. That statue has some artistic value. Venice found that I was not at all afraid. To know those, God has amazing power, is the absolute ruler of the upper tower. I laughed. I'm afraid it's impossible to be afraid. This is not the 50th floor. Hear this. It was funny how Janice laughed. You really won't let me down. And Anubis on the other side is pissed off by me. I not only insulted his reputation, dared to stand in front of him now. And Osiris, the god of resurrection, was dying of laughter. He likes to watch Anubis. Pissed off. Soon I came to the palace where the gods were. I can't help but complain to Anubis. Can't stand this oxygen. Alniobus stepped on me. But it was hit by a purple energy shield. Venice looks dusty. He is my guest. Don't you want to be in front of me, old man? Go against the rules of the tower. Hear this warning. Anubis knew and did not proceed. But he was ruthless by the god of resurrection by his side, laughed at. But he's not going to stop there. Since you can't execute me yourself, he plans to come to Hennessy according to the rules in the tower. Discover Anubis hands-on. Made me stand still. It's like knowing the rules of the tower. And Anubi on the other side, Sai has already summoned a fighter. Undead Walker. He is capable of fighting, the strongest agent for 6-tier players. If I can hold on to him for more than 5 seconds, Anubis can keep me in the temple warehouse. Pick anything. This kind of surprise. Of course I won't refuse. I decisively accepted this battle application. In Hennessy's opinion, at my current level, I'm no match for him at all. He was looking forward to how I would solve the current crisis. Subsequently, I bought a copy of the Holy Royal at the trading shop. Jixi immediately launched the Sword Demon King Valley. Hit the undead with a punch. Extraditor's head. Completed Sekil because of the lethal effect produced by the attribute Pilgrims. My punch increased the damage by 15 times. This is the scene. Startled the god of resurrection on the side. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, he won't believe it at all. A human who climbed to the 6th floor of the tower. He actually killed the agent of Anubis. I have a bad idea. I have to think about it. What should I choose when going to the warehouse? Anubis told me to stop dreaming. No one has just accepted the invitation to fight, immediately launched an attack. Suddenly, Anubis heard from behind. This is the promise you made yourself. Do you want to violate the rules in the tower? This man is the sun god Harris. Hear this. Anubis cursed in secret, damn it. Then he turned around and left angrily. Cruz apologized to me and asked me to go to the warehouse with him. Glittering in the warehouse. Various gold, treasures of gold and silver and holy clothing. Horus told me to pick from inside. After all, you have to do what you say. But before that, Cruz has a question. He wanted me to choose one of them. Become the occupant who dominates this floor. In that case, the power they gave me, far more valuable than the many treasures in the warehouse. Janice understood what Horus meant. Grant me the power of each player only once. Chance of choice. He also knew no one can refuse God's protection. After all, this kind of opportunity may not be encountered in this lifetime. No, I refused immediately without thinking. Because I will reach higher than this. So there's no need to accept help here. Soon I was among many treasures. I found what I was looking for. Horus on the side suppressed his anger. He realized that I didn't give him any face as a god. Then Horus? I found it. It's always in my hands. Read Anubis. Anubis would also like to know. What did I choose? Gruss said slowly. He chose the egg of a black ancient species. Anubis knows exactly what this is. If I don't handle this egg properly, he might give the human world, bring great disaster. Alice doesn't understand either. Why did I choose this kind of thing? If the hatching is not good, something big will happen. He was even more worried about if this thing destroys all cities. They have nowhere to spend. But I don't care at all. After all, this time I'm finally getting serious. Information about eggs of ancient species. I just know a little. The eccentric adventurer of the Tower of Worldly Love, Paces, once said a word, answers to ancient species. In the magic of deliciousness, I combine the magic generated by the skills of all attributes. Inject this egg seed like crazy. For a while, this egg is constantly glowing in various colors. I can feel him absorbing my magic. With the continuous injection of magic, I can feel it clearly. The egg is finally hatching. Inside the bag was a cute little black dragon. Look at his greedy mouth. Seems to be searching for the magic I just tasted. I'm going to gather all the remaining magic together. Let his body fully gaze out. The magic power is compressed into a magic bead in my hands. I handed this bead to the little black dragon. So this was kind of his first little snack. The little black dragon is very vigilantly showing off the taste of the beads. Then he swallowed it in one bite. Look at him looking so unsatisfied. Obviously, this little snacks are very much to his liking, and I managed to make a mark on him. We need to name him now. This will increase his loyalty to me. I thought about it for 2.5 hours. Finally came up with a name that suits him perfectly. It's called Little Blackie. After having a name, the little black dragon cried out happily. This guy is cute, though. But I want to support him. It's not enough to rely on my magic. This is the system prompt I received. Ultimate management. Hennessy follows my channel. It's just that I don't know why he pays attention to me. The next day, the radio director found me. He wants to invite me on their show. We'll take out magic crystals for this stir-fry. And it can also provide wireless conditions. In addition, there is another person who wants to join me on their show. If I agree, no matter how many mirrors I want, they can all be subdued. I decisively agreed to this invitation. It's not my style to be cheap after all. Early the next morning, I came to the place where the city TV station is located. Fan de Biao, the representative of the Dark Cloud Guild, also called. He also invited 2 members of the public and the guild. Dead players come to help. Last time I humiliated him. This time he is trying to save the image of the Union. It's been a busy time. When he heard I was coming, I specially found 2 people to come and welcome me, but I didn't care. In a while, I hope he can still be as tough as he is now. The 2 similar players behind him saw my expression. Dust is obvious. They both seem to have a big opinion of me. When I was bickering with Van de Biao, a car stopped next to us. Got out of the car. It was St. Teresa of Amsterdam. And Liu Tianying, known as the strongest dancer in the country. Kensei riding. Saint also came over at this moment, after seeing the person who came. Van de Biao was shocked. The hard air just now is gone. Those two S-level players know. All three of them are my buddies. I just don't know. How could the dead Liu Tianying appear here? Is this black-haired woman talking about Jiang Zhenghe? I'm really becoming more and more interested in you. Then in Van de Biao's shouting. Turn away without looking back. What they came here for has been achieved. Naturally, there is no need to continue to abide by the conditions. See this scene. I couldn't help but mock. If you want to show off your connections, just make sure it's foolproof, right? One of Vanderbilt's. Grab a reporter's belt. Tell me about this interview. Good guy. This time the reporter didn't even want pants. Run away quickly. But it almost pissed Van de Biao off. It's hard to fight this time. Take a chance to save the guild's face. That's it. When Xiu Sheng saw me, he was angry. Because of you, my house is in ruins. You must have done it. Now I remember. When I was on the 5th floor of the trial tower before, Dear, I told the Morens about the unknown things in the prosperous
Lancelot
world of the association, helpless. I can only pretend I don't know anything. See this scene. Xian Yusheng has completely destroyed the house. Don't pretend to be guarded. I have 16 unknown trinkets in my hand. Just by comparison, I know you are the location. I'm just stupid. This kid is too obsessed with me. It seems that we have to find a chance to pit him. I'll just avoid the topic. Grinding association. What is the strength of the man sent to destroy your home? First, Yusheng told me that that person is very strong, but compared to the duel between us, he won hands down. I smiled when I heard that. I know Chen Yusheng must have been defeated by the other party, but I didn't debunk it either. Mr. Liu Tianying by the side, curious to ask about Teresa's relationship with me. Wen Yan Teresa blushed. We are trusted partners. I'm thinking maybe a little lighter than that. The old man looked at him like this. I may have understood something in my heart. He said helplessly, That's a long way to go. This won't work for Teresa. After some small incidents, began the recording of this program. The host asked me some secrets about attacking towers, and I just answered casually. Just avoid the monsters. After the program was recorded, the director was very dissatisfied. After all, it's a waste of a second. They will lose a lot of money. I don't care about that. Now they just give me what I deserve. Just bring it. But the director is still pointing at me and talking. Rebuked me for playing the sea urchin, arguably come to perform bandits. And I grabbed him by the collar, asked him if he still remembers that centimeter in Li Zhongshu, the president of the live broadcast company who used to call you brothers. You two made a deal before. Bloggers' slave contracts. Remember that? One time I was with other bloggers. Went to your office to protest. You two really gave me a good lesson that day. Life classroom, now you have the nerve to call me unreasonable. After a friendly exchange with me. The director was very happy to bring me to warehouse for storing goldstones. However, they charged the station will only provide me with an unlimited amount, 2.5 hours of goldstone. It bothers me, but there is no way. After all, the contract was signed in black and white. What gives me a headache is that there are many touchstones here. But I can't take it away at all. These goldstones are set to prevent theft. The spell can't fit in the pressure pack and absorbs a low-grade goldstone. It only takes 5 minutes. The director knows this. So within 2.5 hours, all I can absorb is a drop in the bucket. He also specially left 2 employees to spy on me. If you have any requirements, you can tell them. Little did I know that I already had a way to deal with it. I hope this director doesn't cry for a while. I looked at them and smiled. 2 beautiful ladies. Let me show you my big baby. 2.5 hours later, the director came to the warehouse with a smile. I saw him and his 2 subordinates, stroking my big baby. I also picked up my phone and kept taking pictures. He keeps platinum. The stone cabinet is already empty. These 2 ladies, I can't resist the cuteness of Xiaohazy at all. I am very grateful to the director for helping me feed the little black child. It would be better if there were more magic spirits. The full little blackie is not happy. Raising his little paws, he is still screaming. The director slumped on the ground with a plop. This situation was completely unexpected to him. I showed my kind smile again. Let him play tricks on me. All I can say is that he deserves it. Now Blackie's level has directly risen to level 98. Thinking attributes have improved a lot. Skills have also been learned a lot. He is already strong. But if you want him to fight, with my 80 mana, it can only keep him fighting for about 5 minutes. Then I have to break the plan. Grow up as soon as possible. Cohesion on the other side. The previous two as the level players are reporting that I choose with them. The news that the person who set up the alliance, the person on the other end of the phone sighed helplessly, since he is unwilling to cooperate with us. That Chen Yusheng also got a red name on the list of single bars. They are all people who are very familiar to me. The 6th floor of the trial tower, the elf forest, has finally opened. I say there is a way to get stronger. Chen Yusheng was also fooled in. I took out the demolition alert I had previously obtained. He can practice linking anywhere below the 10th floor, and you can also carry a brass cutter. I don't understand why I took him with me. After all, my own ability is enough. Hear this. I rushed to explain, said it was because I cherished him as a friend. I can't let him know it's to trick him. Decisively promoted the demolition of the warning area, connected to the entrance to the 10th floor. Lasts only half an hour. After coming in, the first thing that catches my eye is a statue. Huge warrior body. Below him, there are also dozens of soldiers half kneeling on the ground. This floor is where the soldiers live. This is all to protect the package. They have 21 guardian warriors. I'll call Chiu Shengdao. Do you think you can beat them? Chiu Sage stretched out his finger confidently. As long as you don't wake up the monster at the end. I think it's all a matter of hand-wringing. This monster is the burden of the 10th floor. Immortal stone giant. Seeing him so confident in himself, this is just enough for me to use him hard once. I told Chiyoshi, as long as you can get rid of those soldiers, then hold on for another minute from the boss. I will seriously compete with you. Hear this. Xian Yaosheng narrowed his eyes. He drew his sword with a whoosh. The whole person rushed towards the group of warriors like a sword. Same time, the long sleeping soldiers below. Wake up now. This is where we live. Only those who are qualified can enter here. Didn't wait for him to finish speaking. Shen Yusheng's sword has been chopped down. Go down. No one can stop his determination to defeat me. And Teresa on the other side, with the help of hair recovery rolls. That dazzling blonde hair finally grew back. Only send money. No matter how many hair recovery rolls are used, you can't get a hair on your head. At the same time, the clear oil saint on the other side has already killed Red Eye, cut down with a sword. The huge warrior was divided into 2 by it. He was exhausted and out of breath. Now only the boss is left. As long as you hold on to his hands for a minute, you will win first. You can get a chance to duel with me. Think of this, he roared, killed with a long sword. Seeing as his arrow is about to hit this one. The boss, who had been sleeping for a long time, suddenly opened his eyes. Next second, Ken Yosho woke up from a coma. He found himself lying in a hospital bed, and Li Yuli is still here to take care of him. He received my order earlier. He brought the dying Qing Yusheng to the hospital. Subsequently, Li Yuli took out a stone and handed it to him. Shen Yusheng looked at this stone and fell into memories. Previously, he was battling with the boss of the 10th floor. Within hours, boss suddenly used a skill that can avoid body damage. The magic and physical damage used by Shen Yu Saint, it doesn't do anything for him. He only lasted 21 seconds in this helper. Even his own weapons were damaged. I stood up at the critical moment. With the strength of 7 Yusheng, it's a long way from catching up with me. I used Sword Demon Emperor, constantly dodging the boss's attacks. I used a skill with a boss I can't help. Gravity within range of the shelter has increased 5-fold. Immortal journey in an instant time. Feel a terrifying micro-pressure fell on him. He wanted to see me face the situation. It's time to choose what to do. Little do you know. That's what I've been waiting for from the beginning. I waved my hand and activated the wrinkle to strengthen the enchantment. The stronger the gravity of the magnetic field, the power of my barrier will continue to increase. You should be a real rock. Yanba, the relic of my palm net. The boss's body. His body was crazily squeezed by an inexplicable force. At the same time, he also used the exemption, invincible skill for proprietary damage. In this way, under the constant struggle between the two forces, the boss on this floor turned into a stone. So my level went up several levels in a row. The purpose of this visit has also been achieved. I successfully replicated this bus skill invincible. Chen Yusheng, who I saved, didn't buy it. He always believed that I'm still humiliating him as before. And I'm on the 6th floor of the trial tower right now. I also killed a lot of petty officials along the way. Acquired several pieces of equipment. Thanks to friends and family, Sheng helped me get rid of those minions. I can work my magic. Consumes huge 1-star nodules. This is Alice reminding me. There's a guy following me. I glanced back disdainfully. I already found this guy. Just plain lazy to ignore him. Because I was going to a place that was very closed to outsiders, and it's no good fighting him now. Just let him follow. The spies at the back are reporting. I'm on my way to the 6th floor. News from the Elf Woods. At the same time, cohesion on the other side. The three of them knelt down in horror. Headed by White Hair, is an SG player of Zhonghe Guild. The man in front of him is furious. He not only preemptively captured the 5th floor, even captured the 4th floor. What do you eat? Swish. He chopped off one of the White Hair's ears with one arrow. Even so, this White Hair is still enduring the pain. I can't breathe. And the man who chopped off his ear, it is Nanggong Tian, the boss of the Shigehe Guild. Nanggong Tian said angrily, "Do you want me to do it myself? Will the plan go smoothly? This injury will give you a long memory. Next time, but it's not as simple as losing an ear. Although Nanggong, I don't know why I stay in winter. 6th floor. But it's better for him." He ordered Bai Mao and the others to go to the 6th floor. Rendezvous with Xuanhua and Dang Qiao. Burn me down with that forest. Even witnesses can't be spared. At this time, the elf forest on the 6th floor. This spy is still watching my every move. Didn't notice at all. The assassin elf quietly appeared behind him. This time, other players have also entered the 6th floor. This is the Tower Head, one of the best resorts. Because as long as you live here for 90 days, the 7th floor will automatically open. So usually people who come here, it's all about vacation and relaxation. The previous spy had already been arrested. This elf solved it. It's just that he doesn't know why I'm being followed. He doesn't look at me like I have any purpose. Maybe it's just the wrong way. But if you're not a veteran, it is absolutely impossible to pass through this forest. It seems he can't get out. I took a deep breath. Happy running to the left, because I've identified directions by smell. It's the genie that sees where I'm going. Startled. Identify roads by smell. Only those who have lived in the forest for a long time will. He didn't understand how I knew, but it doesn't matter, because he knows there was an illusion on my way. Frugality, as long as you enter, it will wander around in an endless virtual image. Until all my strength is exhausted. All he has to do now is observe for a while. After I lose consciousness, he threw me outside again. Little do you know that I am an enchantress. This kind of enchantment is simply pediatric in my eyes. Moreover, there is a problem with the setting of this barrier, although I don't know who set it up. It looks like he must have learned very poorly. Hear this. The guy behind me was trembling with Elfin, because this barrier was set by him. In fact, I already found out. This elf has been following me. That being the case, then I'll let you take the initiative to dedicate yourself. I pretended to be happy. Launched another world canteen. I stir-fried a pot of meat in front of him. The elf behind smelled the fragrance. The llamas are all flowing out. I can cook beyond his expectations. But soon he realized it. Now is not the time to be greedy. Then he jumped out of the tree. How dare you cook in the sacred elf forest? And it's meat. Are you trying to insult the holy elves? I couldn't help but show up when I saw him. I smiled. The movement of cooking in hand did not stop. I explained that these are not meat. It was my vegetarian meat with beans. I served him the prepared food. Let him come and confirm. But the elf still did not let down its guard. Don't believe me at all. With a seductive fragrance drilling into his nostrils, he finally believed it was made of beans. The elves of this layer is a pair of food and music, an almost pathological race, but they are strictly prohibited from eating animal meat. So I'll just make one. Food that looks like meat. Put it in front of his eyes. It's impossible for him not to be moved. At this moment, this Harazi of Jinling Zen left 2.5 meters. Seeing him like this makes me smile badly. Would you like to taste my take? Hand dish with a piece of food. Did not eat it immediately. Instead, confirmed me again. Is this really made of beans? I asked him not to insult me. Serious attitude towards food. I don't lie or joke about food. Hearing this, he did not hesitate any longer. I ate it in one bite. The taste buds were instantly conquered by this delicious food. This is the first time he has eaten this kind of food. Soon all the food was emptied by him. And we got to know each other. This elf is called Ash, a member of the Elf Grove Commando. He apologized to me very sincerely. I hope I can forgive him. I'm also a downhill donkey. Let him take me to the elf village. Soon I followed he came to the dwelling place of the elves. Met Benhaimu, the elder of the elven forest. He welcomed me. It's just that this welcome is a little special, because several archers have already aimed at me. You're an outsider out of nowhere. How dare you dare to let us welcome you, a young man said coldly. This man's name is Teslone. He's a level 30 senior commando. This guy is still as mortal as ever. When I used to play games, he is extremely wary of humans, although it was also because I messed with him at the time. I was just about to say that I accepted Ash's invitation. His arrow has come to me. I immediately drew my weapon and blocked it. Your attitude towards your guests is too bad. Should I bring a gift? Guess right. Teslon still doesn't plan to give up on it. You are a fast human. But next time I will definitely hit your heart. Ash immediately stopped. This is my guest. I want to apologize to him for my mistake. That's why I brought him to the village. Kozlone told him to shut up, even so. He's not allowed to bring outsiders in. Ash immediately began to explain. This cook is superb. He can make us food that has never been eaten. Hear this. The elder Benhaimu drooled. He stopped Teslon immediately. He wants to confirm the authenticity of love, and I was very pleased with the result, only so that my plan can proceed smoothly. In the woods of the fairies, there is a special fruit called figs. They're magical like magic crystals. Just one bite can increase mana, and the fairies will harvest the figs. The day to express our gratitude to the forest, become a moonlight celebration, and I am on this day, became their chef. The aroma of the food made them want to stop. One by one, the llamas left 2.5 meters. Soon plates of delicious food were made. And these elves can't wait. One by one, they began to hide. Teslon, I want to get a copy while no one is paying attention. I took him away without hesitation. His sword stabbed me in the face before. Now I want to eat the food I made. Just dreaming. Chaim is very satisfied with the food. He didn't expect a foreign agent can bring such a big surprise. This moonlight celebration is very good. Let's express our gratitude to the noble Mother Woods. Then let's start the moonlight celebration. All the elves in the audience are cheering loudly. All kinds of sweet music kept playing. Everyone accepts their mother with reverence. Figs from the woods. The lively atmosphere here, it also attracts the attention of other players. A yellow hair, still complaining about the bad temper of these elves. He didn't notice his companion behind him. Has disappeared. Wait for his reaction. When I came, I don't know when, a group of masked assassins appeared, and his neck, impressively against a short track flickering with dim light. Just listen to a poof. The young man's throat was sealed with a knife. Let everyone remember the leading assassin. No witnesses this time.